get in, lads. The Copa America semifinals are about to be underway within a day or two, so we're going to give you guys a preview slash predictions video. Before we start, though, I need you guys to like the video if you've been enjoying Copa America more than you've been enjoying the Euros. And then also let us know in the comments down below what your predictions for these games are, because we read every single comment, so we want to see what you guys think, if it's the same as ours, if it's different than ours. And then we'll react to a few of those if we think they're worthy enough of reacting to. But first of all, Canada, Argentina are the first game. Andres, lead us off with how you think this game is going to go.
I got to support the only Concacaf team left in this tournament, the boys up north, Canada. I genuinely think Canada has a shot of winning this game. Hear me out. Look, they may have lost to Argentina in their group stage. Canada did at moments look very good in that game, and arguably the scoreline flattered Argentina more than it should have, just because I think that game was a lot more closer than it was. And Canada's kind of in form. I think they found their groove under Jesse Marsh. I'm not going to lie. Should have been a lot more against Venezuela. It shouldn't have gone to penalties whatsoever. That was kind of a fluke goal, but that was kind of Venezuela's whole Copa America run summed up into one, just random fluke goals that you're like, what? And then yeah, especially the one against Mexico. Yeah, I still have an issue with that one. Didn't deserve that, but anyways, I see Canada pulling this out. I mean, it's gonna be a close one. I can see it. I can see it though. I think it could be a 1-0. Yeah, I just Argentina. We talked about it before, how they didn't look that great in the group stage. They're kind of slow. Take a little bit to start up, but I just wasn't that convinced against Ecuador. Not really. It was kind of flat. They were flat, 1-0. And then Ecuador equalized 1-1. Ecuador could have gone on to win that game if Ener Valencia did score that penalty that he had. Took him to penalties. I really do hate this thing where it goes straight to penalties. I just think it's the dumbest shit ever. I can see Canada pulling out. I think they got the confidence. I think we've said this so many times regarding Canada, especially before this tournament. They have the individual players. They have a solid squad. They just don't play well together. But Jesse Marsh, and Diego's keep saying, I'll give Diego credit, Jesse Marsh has been able to turn this Canadian side around and find an identity, something that possibly both the other two major Concacaf teams have not found yet, is their identity. But Canada seems to have found it in this group, so that's a positive thing for Canadians. But yeah, I think everyone. Jonathan David looks great. Alfonso Davies looks great. Maxime Crepeau is actually not playing bad. He's actually playing well. Made some good saves, minus the Venezuela goal. I don't know what he was doing all the way out there, but
that wasn't even his fault. I mean, Jesse Marsh did come out at the end of the game and said it was Jesse Marsh's fault because he told him to play a little bit too forward.
Yeah,
but still, Crepeau has.
I like the aggression, solid. Jesse Marsh. I like the aggression. Even though you're 1-0 up, you send everybody forward. I love it.
I would say even there's so many players in this Canadian national team that are unsung heroes in this entire run that maybe forgotten afterwards. Like Scheffelberg in the midfield has been phenomenal, and he plays in the MLS. Johnson at right back plays for Celtic. He's been phenomenal as well. Canada have the ability to beat Argentina. Argentina have looked not good. I'll be honest. Argentina have not looked like the favorites of this tournament in games past. I think they still are, and that's just a testament to how good this team really is. But they have not looked that good. In the game against Ecuador, I do think that if Ecuador won, nobody would have been complaining, really, except for maybe Argentina fans for whatever. I mean, they'll find a reason. But Argentina could have lost the game in Ecuador, and it would have been okay, it would have made sense because they just were not the better team by any means, in my opinion. They just were better on penalties, and that's not necessarily down to the team performance at all. Canada have the ability to beat Argentina. They have all the momentum in the world. They have probably the second most momentum in the semifinals behind Colombia. Canada have the ability to do it. But we have to talk about things that Canada can't do at the same time. Canada cannot score. Canada absolutely cannot score. They have had so many opportunities. The game against Venezuela should not have gone the penalties. Canada easily could have won 4-5-1. Easily could have won 4-5-1 if they knew how to finish. So, as a result, I don't know how hopeful I am for Canada beating Argentina when they can't score. The only way I think they can do it is through penalties, personally, or luck with an own goal or something like that. I think Argentina is not the team where you find your goal scoring form against. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
I believe Diego. Not Diego. I believe.
And I appreciate that. And you know what? there's still a bit of me that believes too, and I think much of the world is going for Canada here. I think Concacaf. If you don't want Canada to go here as a Concacaf fan, then what are you doing? Canada should be beating Argentina, or could be beating Argentina here, and that's really important. Um, it's, Another thing though too is the back line is not the greatest back line in the world. They have good players of individual quality, but cohesion wise, it doesn't work that well. Let's be realistic; it doesn't work a whole lot well. Venezuela, a lot of their shortcomings against Canada were their own fault. A lot of the reasons why they didn't move forward was not because Canada defended super well. It's just because Venezuela were making dumb decisions, bad dribbling decisions, bad passing choices, and whatnot. So that's one thing where I do think Argentina have all the ability in the world to counter. Because obviously they're still I think they're ranked number one in the world still. They're still one of the best attacks in the world. They still can do anything. Lautaro has been in great form. I don't know if Canada can handle it. That's my only thing. But
No.
those are the two main reasons why I don't think they might not be able to do it. But I still think they can. I'm still Team Canada.
Oh, Canada. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Just wait. It's going to be the massive Concacaf.
Ooh.
Honestly, I'm sorry to my fellow Canadian brothers and sisters that I disrespected you before this tournament. I did. I was not familiar with Jesse Marsh's game. Okay. And I take full responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm
Good on you,
sorry.
Andres. Good on
I'm
you for that.
sorry. I believe I'm back in Canada all the way. If there's a Tim Hortons nearby, I doubt there is, but I'll go to one. I'll buy one before the game, just so I
Wow.
can support the boys.
Not all
Um,
heroes wear capes.
I know, I know. Where is it, Tim Hortons? I don't even know where. I think
I
L.A.
don't even know.
maybe,
There's one. Maybe.
maybe
There's one
airport.
thing I feel like that needs to be mentioned too for this game that I think is going to be huge. The amount of referee bias that you're about to watch in this game is going to be insane.
It's a third
Canada,
factor, not the
can we? Okay,
players, the
literally,
referee.
Concacaf in general, I feel like have been unfairly biased against
I
in this
agree.
tournament. And
No,
obviously, I'm wearing a USA jersey. I know I'm going to sound like, oh, I'm crying, whatever. It doesn't matter. Mexico, USA, Canada, a lot of these teams have been biased against in this tournament. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I don't care. It's true. If you watch that game against Venezuela, Canada was getting pummeled by Venezuela and nothing was being called. They were picking and choosing what was a foul. They were picking and choosing what they want to stop the play for. And oftentimes when they stopped the play, it was to benefit Venezuela. The goalkeeper should have had a yellow card when he tried to hit the ball out of the Canada's player's hands to throw it in. That's an obvious yellow card. Obvious yellow card. There is no way around that. That should be called a yellow card.
oh, but
Whatever.
no,
Uh,
but no, no,
uh,
no.
but no,
Listen, it's
but it's
just a
Canada. So Argentina, on the other hand, everybody knows and everybody talks about and makes fun about how referees love to favor Argentina. And it's not going to be different in this game, especially against Canada.
mm,
Argentina are going to get a lot of calls. They're going to get a lot of things going their way in terms of an officiating sense. So if you're watching this game, be ready to be frustrated because I know I'm going to be frustrated. It's going to piss me off because this
mm.
game is going to be insanely biased, I
Look,
feel like.
if Canada pulls off a 1-0 win, I won't be surprised if late in the game there's a random ass penalty called against Canada and it's the most bullshit call in the world
Right.
just so they could equalize. I could see that happening. I truly do.
Right.
Um,
Messi, like I love Messi. In the Messi Ronaldo fan debate, I am Team Messi all the way. But I think Messi, in CONMEBOL's eyes, Messi has to win this tournament because this is his last ever Copa America, and that's why Argentina are going to be severely favored for against Canada.
check those bank
Unfortunately,
accounts.
it,
Check
and if
those bank accounts.
what are we making a get in football bet on over under fouls for against Canada and for
Oof.
Argentina?
Oh yeah. Oof. We should
I
make
shouldn't
a
have said that. I'm just gonna do that now. We're gonna
10.
spend all the money we've made on the channel onto this.
Yeah. I'll go to
Onto this.
I'll go to Vegas real quick.
Jesus Christ. Um,
I'm gonna get flagged for suspicion.
literally. Yeah, it's gonna be a bad game to watch. I don't think it's gonna be the greatest game to watch because there's two ways that the games have been gone. Either they're over officiated and there's no flow to be found in the game, which is detrimental to the entertainment value of the game, or the referees have either have not stopped anything and there's no control of the game, and as a result, it's just you're watching UFC, you're just watching boxing. That's all it is at some point for these games. Argentina, Canada, I expect to have a little bit more class. I would say Argentina have have more individual quality to rely on aggression, like a lot of these CONMEBOL teams have, and Canada at the same time are Canadian. They're not the most aggressive people in terms of footballing sense and and sense in general. But so it's gonna be a good game to watch. Give me your score prediction is what 1-0?
1-0 Canada. Yeah,
1-0.
Canada.
I want Canada to win. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm still gonna go maybe 1-0 Argentina personally, but that's more as a result of Canada not being able to score and Argentina just getting a lucky break. Because I feel like that's how
Penalty.
Argentina scores a lot. Yeah,
Just
it's
watch.
either going to be penalty or it's going to be a perfect pass into a counter attack, which I thought was going to be at the end of it. I feel like that's how Argentina score a lot of their goals.
But it's going to be a foul leading up to it. And one of
Mm,
the Canadian players are going to get fouled, not going to get called. VAR is not going to
mm,
go over it. And then,
mm.
yeah, it's going to be great.
Sounds about Argentina.
It's a
Okay.
2v1 at the moment. Poor Canada. They deserve better.
Yeah. Okay, let's move over to the other side of the bracket. That is Uruguay, Colombia, and this is a game to watch.
Not,
This is a game to watch.
I don't
For
think so.
for me, I think whoever wins this wins the whole thing.
I
This
agree,
is this is that kind of game. But I mean,
but
two of the okay. Let's. I'm gonna start with Colombia's side. Colombia have the chance to cement themselves as one of the best Colombia sides of all time here with a tournament win. Colombia, I think they're what 26, 7 games unbeaten. I think
something like that.
they are still the most momentous. They have the most momentum in terms of any international side in the world. Colombia has a lot on the line here, not only just in or out of the tournament, but pride and continuing their good form. Uruguay, on the other hand, just beat Brazil. Uh, that was more so Brazil just not looking good,
Both
and it was
teams
in
didn't look
penalties.
good in that game. Oh my
Both teams didn't look good,
goodness.
but I do think, but Uruguay has that factor of being able to make it out still somehow. I mean, it's Uruguay. They've gone this far, and I think there's still a top two favorite between them and Argentina for me. But Colombia are just right next to them too. So I don't know. This is a game to watch. This is a game to watch. I'm gonna favor Colombia though, personally.
I agree. I agree. I just don't like how
Yeah.
do I play. I mean, that
Mm,
tackle against Brazil was nasty. It was
mm,
bad. That red card was bad. There's no need to do that. Anyways,
mm.
but I also just want to see the tears of Uruguay. You know what I mean? Because they smacked Mexico a little bit in the friendly. I appreciate that one. So
Yeah.
I want some sweet revenge. So I'm gonna go Colombia too. I think Colombia just looks better in the sense because I feel like
Yeah.
Uruguay's had their moments, yeah, but when they face like better oppositions like the USA, they kind of like they're like decent. Got the job done, and then
Mm,
last night because we're recording this day after, they looked
hmm.
bad. I mean, both teams. It was a horrible show to watch. I mean, I never thought I'd agree with Lexi Lawless, but he said if both teams couldn't win this game, I'd want that to happen because it was that bad of a showing
Wow.
from both teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so I hope Colombia wins. I think James Rodriguez is somehow found his 2014 form at the moment. It's kind of crazy. Um, but
Can
yeah,
I say that a lot of how these teams are playing, including Uruguay, are a result of immediate penalties after 90 minutes? Like a lot of these teams, I feel like, especially Uruguay, can easily just sit back and defend their hearts out and foul the crap out of the other team because they know that as long as it's a draw, they have an even better chance of winning
yeah.
afterwards.
Well, that's what they did
Which is
against Brazil. Even before the red
yeah,
card, looked like they were playing for
yeah, for the
pens.
draw.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, honestly, I mean, think about it. The risk reward factor, right? There is higher reward for doing that than maybe sending your men forward and trying to attack and being able to pitch and then getting caught on counterattack and you're down 1-0, especially against these teams that are very fast paced. So, yes, I want to say that that's probably a big reason why these teams are playing like this way, and I hope it doesn't remain that way, but it's probably going to.
yeah.
At least for
Well,
the
until
final, it's
the
not going
final,
to
yeah,
because,
yeah.
yeah, there's extra time for the final. But
That's
at
such a
least this
stupid
game,
decision. I'm not gonna lie. That's a
yeah, I don't.
stupid decision.
I don't like it. And I know they did it because they think that it's more entertaining for the fans, maybe, especially the American fans, because obviously it's in America. A lot of I'm sure there's a bigger American audience this year than ever in the Copa America. So they're probably thinking like Americans don't want like they just want the penalties, and that's why they're playing this way in these tournaments, and it's frustrating. I do think that this is a game in comparison to the Argentina Canada game. I think this is a game where we're going to see that the most by far.
Yeah.
We're going to see it the most for sure. So, which is unfortunate because I don't like how that's being played, but you know it is what it is, and we'll watch it, but. That Colombia for me deserved this game much more.
Yeah.
Uruguay I don't think should be this far personally. I don't mind that they're this far. I don't think there's any other team that should be farther, if I'm being honest. So yeah, Colombia for me. That's my
I
way to go.
think it's straightforward in this one. I think it's
Yeah,
Colombia.
yeah. And I think we might catch a lot of slack for that. And when we talked about when I did the rant about the USA Uruguay game, I got a lot of slack, and I was told that Uruguay is a team that everybody hates against, and the referees never want to win. So
And it's
we'll
tough
see
to
what
make.
happens here.
Anyways, well, it's two
I do.
CONMEBOL teams, so we'll see how the refereeing is.
I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. I'll be honest. I don't think the referee is gonna call much. And I think it's just gonna
Check
be
those bank accounts.
abuse.
I'm telling you, check those bank accounts.
He's calling for a full investigation. He's calling for an internal investigation. That's crazy.
I
The game's
am,
not even
bro.
being played
It's
yet.
honestly mind-boggling. The inconsistencies in this tournament is crazy.
Hmm.
The Euros, not so much. The Euros is pretty straightforward just because of the AI and all that jazz, so you can't really
Right.
argue
It's just
with it.
better overall. Yeah,
Yeah.
technology. Yeah.
But
I
and the
mean,
camera. Oh, dude, don't get me started. Overall, the camera angles of certain games, like with the
yeah,
camera of showing the game, has been horrendous. Like it's like we're playing FIFA out here.
amateurish.
We're like filming all the way from an angle and zooming in to make it look straight,
What
but it's
was the,
not.
the USA Uruguay game? And it was like a top. It was almost a top down view. It was like so high up that it was almost a
Oh
top
yeah,
down like
yeah, yeah.
2D view. And then like I think at halftime they switched it to lower. Yeah, that was horrendous. Um, okay, before we get too off track here, score prediction for this game, I'm gonna go 2-1 Colombia
I'm
personally.
gonna go 2-0 Colombia.
2-0 Colombia. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Darwin Nunez continuing good form. No,
No, I'll lose Diaz. I
no,
can see it.
Luis Diaz. I like that. Yeah,
Mm,
Luis Yancy Cordoba's been solid too. I don't know. A lot of different pieces of this Colombia side are firing. Richard
firing.
Rios, obviously in the midfield, has just been phenomenal. Um, yeah, imagine this team with like Cuadrado. Jesus Christ! Imagine this team with like Cuadrado, and
I
a
had
lot
to
of
say
like
it
the
white.
players. Yeah, I had to say why. I mean, like, there's no point in just trying.
It's okay. I
Um,
understand.
Cuadrado. Cuadrado. Um, yeah, but imagine this team with like Cuadrado, or like any of these players from Colombia's past. Oh, they'd be phenomenal. But this team itself is still so good. I
Yep,
love
I
this
agree.
Colombia team. I've been
Oh, I don't know about
I've
that
been
one.
vouching for them since
That's
things
true.
passed. There was a guy who commented on our TikTok the last video I did for the Colombia where I said Colombia was going to finish first, and then you rebutted it and you were like, no man, it's Copa America. Brazil have to make to the final. Brazil are not finishing second here, and that's beside the point. I'm not dogging on you for that, but someone was commenting like this didn't age well. This I'm like yeah,
Hey,
accurate.
to be fair, the refs did help Uruguay get a red card, even though it was a valid red card. It's not my fault. The refs can't intervene during pens. Come on now. They did as
Yeah, there
much
was
as
just
they
some bad
could.
penalties.
They did
Yeah.
as much as they could.
So I mean, well, all right. Unless we have anything else to add, I think, like I said, this is the game that has the winner of the Copa America. Personally,
No, it's
I think,
Canada, bro. Argentina, Canada. I don't know what you're talking about.
bro, if there's a Canada Colombia Copa America final, that it might be one of the best games of all time.
It
It might
will
be one
be.
of the worst refereed games of all time. Knowing Copa Bowl, they would get the guy that refereed USA Uruguay for the final.
Probably. But dude, I'm telling you, I am so confident in Canada. It's crazy. I'm
Wow,
on the Canadian train.
wow,
Call me
that's
crazy
crazy.
on the crazy train,
I
but
am. I'm
let me
gonna call you
know.
crazy.
Uh,
That's insane.
I'm
We will
just wait.
revisit this in 2 days,
Yeah, we
Andres.
will.
We'll see.
We will. We will. And I will be
All right.
right.
Oh wow.
Just that person, just be ready to say this didn't age well. Just get ready in those
This
comment
for real.
sections.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for our semifinals preview for the Copa America. We did do a Euros preview predictions video. That one should be out before this, so make sure to go to our channel and check that video out, and then subscribe for more Copa America content. And we're gonna milk the hell out of this tournament. So there's gonna be some Copa America content even afterwards, Concacaf and CONMEBOL content afterwards. So if any of that interests you, make sure to stick around on the channel and click subscribe with notifications on. Otherwise, leave a like on the video if you think that this tournament has been better than the Euros. And yeah, we'll see you guys probably after those games.
Peace.
Cool. Take care.